So I think one thing every YouTube personality or star needs is a good stick or something. So mine's a hat. The Eye of the World is a fantasy series written by Robert Jordan and is just the first in a series of 14 books, from 15 if you count the prequel. It's a monstrous series and was a huge undertaking. In fact, Robert Jordan sadly passed away after writing the 10th book, Knife of Dreams. No, the 11th book, Knife of Dreams. And it was finished by Brandon Sanderson. But I want to review The Eye of the World. And to review it, I've broken it down into 4 main aspects: story, world building, character, and pacing. So, let's get started with story. So the story of The Wheel of Time starts out with a young man and his father walking down a road. And they're on their way to a village. They soon meet up with his friend, Matt Cawthon, and Perrin Ibarra, and they all three have been seeing some strange things happening around the village. Now, the village is very secluded. Nothing really ever happens there. Nothing bad, nothing evil. It's just all peaceful. And everybody's happy, and they're not worried about the outside world too much. Well, then strangers come to the Emmons Field. That's what the place. They come to their village. 2 strangers, a man and a woman, and people are kind of unnerved by these people, all the local people. And then, to make matters worse, a peddler comes in and tells them some news. There's a false dragon on the loose. Now that's bad because people are scared of the dragon. The dragon's going to be reborn, and that's what the whole series revolves around, is the dragon being reborn. So eventually, after a few things happen, the monsters of the series, Trollocs, start off attacking the village. So they attack, and then the 3 main characters, Matt, Perrin, and Rand, all have to leave, and Egwene Alvir tags along, as well as the Gleeman, who was scheduled for this holiday celebration that was going on. They leave, they go to a town, and a bunch of stuff happens, and eventually they go to this place called Shadar Logoth. Matt takes a dagger from there and gets sick, and then they get separated after Trollocs attack Shadar Logoth. Perrin and Egwene end up going with the traveling people, the 2 Anathan people, and Rand and Matt end up going with Tom on to Caemlyn. A lot of stuff happens on the way. Many people try to kill them along their way, but they eventually all meet back up in Caemlyn and are warned about the Eye of the World, because through these dreams that the 3 people have been having, they said that the Dark One, the big bad of the series, was going to bind the Eye of the World to his service, and he was going to kill and break the Wheel of Time and kill the Great Serpent, which is a big part of their religion in this series. Well, they all hightail it up to the Eye of the World, to the place called the Blight, and there the book ends and the series starts, really. And we find out that one of the main characters is the Dragon Reborn towards the end. But it kind of ends with starting the rest of the series. So now on to world building. Building is done beautifully in The Wheel of Time. It's done very vibrantly and very actively. It holds your hand through a lot of it, but in other places it doesn't. It throws you into just the names of holidays. It throws you into just some random facts, like the White Cloaks, a series of people that aren't very nice people. And it's just done so subtly in some places. In other places it's done very in your face. A lot of it is done through Moraine, the Aes Sedai, the wise wizard trope as it is, and they talk about a lot of lore, a lot of backstory about what happened centuries ago during the War of the Shadow, as they call it, the Trolloc Wars. just different things thrown back in time. So the world building is definitely A plus, and I love the way Robert Jordan just crafts this world around you as these country boys go to see the big cities, and they're forced to just survive in this world, and it's really done well because it, the way he just shows you everything. So next is characters in the Wheel of Time are written incredibly well, be it because they have some kind of trait that's super relatable, or you can relate to a character because you know someone like this character. They're written so well, in fact, by the later parts of the book, and by all accounts, the later parts of the series, you can really see and tell, like, oh, Rand is faced with this decision. This is how he's going to react because I know his character. I know how he's going to do. And they're all believable. They all have emotions and they all react to their world around them in a believable and human way. So characters are an A plus plus in the Wheel of Time. They outrank they rank either the same as or probably above world building in my eyes. But now we're going to move on. The Wheel of Time kind of lacks in pacing as a series as a whole, but Eye of the World is one of the weakest books for pacing because it is the first and it has to go slower. But that still doesn't save it from for it being its weakest link. It really comes down to some scenes going a lot faster and then coming to a dead halt. All momentum that is gained by the escape from Shadar Logoth is lost when it comes to Tom Merrill and when it comes to them getting onto the boat, which is how that scene ends. Lost. All momentum that they gained from running from Shadar Logoth is just completely gone and shattered because now we're on a boat and we're going down the river and not much is happening. And there's a lot of events like that in the Wheel of Time. Like there's a winter night and there's all that thing, and Rand is dragging Tam Althor back to the village to get him healed. And then they get to the village and it just kind of slams because he gets into a dream that's not the most interesting part of the book. Of course, that not every part can be interesting, I understand that, but it still does not save this particular book or series really from getting high scrutiny from at least me and a few others from just being so slow. So now on to the final verdict. Taking everything into account, the story, the characters, the world building, the pacing, I have to give The Eye of the World a 7 out of 10. Now, that's not to say it's a bad book. I've definitely read 4 out of 10s before, and I've read 5 out of 10s, and I've read 10 out of 10s, most of them from the Wheel of Time series. So that's to say it's a really good book. But the pacing just kills it. But in every other aspect with world building and story and character, it just drips with it. So it's good. But, and that's the only thing giving it a 7. If the world building and characters and everything else but pacing was not good, it would not be a good book and would not be where it is today in my esteem and a few other people's esteem too. So that's my review of The Eye of the World. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow for the review of The Great Hunt.